All right, so today's video, we got a Plat 2 support on PC playing Ana, Bap, and Brig. Now, okay, mainly Bap, though, from what I'm reading here. It says, oh boy, do I have a treat. Grab a snack and a drink, because some of the plays in this game will have you on the edge of your seat. This game, I attempted to play my comfort hero, Ana, but a Hanzo ruined my fun, and my head was a magnet for every shot. After my fourth death, I decided to go full headhunting for their Hanzo, and it ended up working pretty well. However, my unique playstyle on Bap and my antics could have led to this game being longer than it needed to be. I know positioning here throughout this game was questionable, but given my rank, I figured I could get away with it. I hope it's worth the watch, and any advice would be great, as I am trying to get all my roles to reflect more like my diamond tank rank. Okay, so you said you started battling a Hanzo after a bit. Well, let's find out. Give it advice when I can, and we'll go from there. Let's do this. Okay, step one. Don't stand still, unscoped, shooting at a roadhog at a window where they can see you from a mile away. You can say the Hanzo is rolling you with these headshots and spamming you out all day long, but you just sat there. We're off to a good start. All right, here we go. I'm ready again. What's step two? Just don't do that again. There you go. Holy crap, you were going everywhere right now. Okay. Let me ask you this question. I talked about this, I don't remember if it was in a Funny Moments video or a previous Spectating. When you sleep somebody, the best thing to do is to reposition to a spot where they can't follow up on you. Let's rephrase that here, to not rephrase it, like talk about this too, especially if it is a roadhog or a tank. You can't kill them there, so why stand there and look at the hog? That hog is gonna kill you. You gotta back away from that right away. Like, you sleep and you just run. Especially keep in mind that there's only 3 seconds, I think, on the nade for, like, tanks or something like that. Like, it's a shorter period of time, is what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to be able to even get away with that with the sleep or the nade. Or not the nade, the sleep. Sorry, all over the place. The sleep, the tank, the tank passive. Did I just see this correctly? We're already off to a wild game, just so I can see this. Ready for you. You know, part of me wants to do that meme where it's like,
it was at this moment he knew. He f***ed up.
And then the Winston's like, see ya. Alright, here we go. Okay, a little bit better position. And now remember, you want to play corners a little bit tighter. Also, you just saw a Hanzo arrow on your hazard, which means that so you could see that the Hanzo had stuck your hazard with the arrow, which meant that as your hazard was moving around, you would be seen easier. So again, going back to the problem against the Hanzo, I don't necessarily think this is just the Hanzo dominating you or the lobby. I think your position is just kind of setting you up to get headshot over and over again by the Hanzo. You know? That's a ambitious blade. Those look like my lamps right there. Every time I try to throw a lamp, it bounces off like in front of me and either goes 6,000 meters behind me or goes nowhere near where I wanted it to go. This is on PC. Yeah, your position is a lot of your problem too. Like right there when you're disengaging, you want to disengage in an angle so that way all the cover is there, but you're disengaging in you're just walking backwards. It's like an easy kill for the Hanzo. What I'm trying to show to you is that, well, yes, don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of getting rolled by a Hanzo randomly, but it feels like you're almost like in the middle of the open consistently, giving the Hanzo full opportunity to get kills on you. Like, it's not like you're playing a really close corner and then the Hanzo's like, you know, miraculously, you know, using a storm arrow off the wall, you know, some geometry and getting a kill. You're kind of just out of position a lot. I'll give you this lamp play. I've tried this before, but you got to be careful of staying there for too long. There you go. Just wait. Your passive will regen soon. Good job. Now you waited. Keep in mind, if you notice there, due to proper positioning, I said doo-doo, I don't know why, but due to proper positioning, you put yourself in a good spot to not get killed by a Hanzo after your lamp was done. That right there is going to be a much better experience for you. I honestly completely zoned during that about your window, but I think it was good. So I can't give him any feedback on that one. This is plat 2, yes. Lamp's fine. Hazard can definitely get away with that a little bit more. Remember, yep, that's fine. Even though the hazard was low, I'm still okay with going for the kill in front of you. I think that is a decision I've had to learn recently in support, because I've been doing a thing where I just wanted to get all the rolls back, the top 500, and we did it on tank and DPS, and I was on support, and for a little bit, I'm like, damn, like, what am I doing? Then I realized I just needed the DPS more on BAP, and it's been, like, way different. So the point being is that even though the hazard was low, I think in current Overwatch, it's okay to take an extra second to go get the kill in front of you and then finish the heal, because if you do enough pressure with your damage, which BAP does a lot of, it's harder for them to follow up on your hazard there. So, it's one of those, like, 50-50 moments of, sometimes it'll be a good play, sometimes it'll be a bad play, but I can see why it's part of the game. Got to play angles here, a little bit late there on the lamp prior to that, but I do that all the time, so I get it. The DPS and BAP helps a lot. Oh, it does. I remind myself in meme about it that I need to go into DPS mode, and while it sounds like I'm heavily memeing it, it's actually more along the lines of it helps remind me that I need to go into DPS mode sometimes. You're fine there in your position. You're just waiting on your teammates. You've cleaned up your gameplay a little bit going into second, which has been nice. We're not talking about the right clicks there. Those right clicks can be tough to hit sometimes, especially with it being a projectile at that range. But also remember, you can just like spam the floor sometimes. That also heals. So you don't need to be like super accurate with it if you're struggling. Window this. I think windowing that would be fine if you wanted to. I respect this. This is fine. Yeah. I don't have an issue with any of that play. Believe it or not, that is, I've talked about it recently. That's currently where the game is going right now with the current tank and support line. Like, a lot of it is just DPS and like that, and occasionally healing. That's fine. Yeah, you're good. Should be a point there. They probably shouldn't even gone for the point. That will give you a little bit more space. Yeah, this is correct. Yep. Believe it or not, this is more. Lamp it down. Good lamp. Survive the ult. Do some damage. Yeah, this is good. I do want to make sure that you are scanning for your teammates after you go through. There you go. Perfect. I'm happy with that. I didn't want you to like overchase the Mercy there and leave your D.Va low. You did that. You scanned. You healed. Good balance again. It feels like you started off really rough and looked like it was going to be rough, and now it's getting a lot better on BAP. Maybe you're just more comfortable playing BAP than Ana. But at the same time, this is kind of what happened to me on Ana, is like you were like Ana's one of my stronger supports, but when I would play Ana, I'd be like, damn, I'm struggling a little bit more than I wanted. Then I go like BAP or a Yari, and I'm just like shredding, getting a bunch of limbs. I'm like, this is great. So maybe it's just an Ana thing at that point. Yeah, you don't even have to like directly heal your teammates. You can just literally spam the floor. So even if you're having like a bad aiming day, like you can still make it work. Good job. Use your burst heal on yourself in a second. It also burst heals around you. Good job. You got the perk that gives you the attack speed. Pop a window now, just to make sure. Only, and that's fine. I was gonna say slight bit of advice, put it in a better spot, but I guess they get line of sighted. So much better round there out of you. I think this is something that I've been pointing out directly with my gameplay recently too. Is if you're putting a little bit more into DPS on support, you're getting some good results, and I think you're kind of seeing that right here. So much better half after the swap. You had a little bit of a rough go on first, and then we saw much better gameplay. So let's see if you overdo it on defense here, because that could technically happen, or what stops you here. But yeah, not a bad half. Okay, here we go. I'm okay with this, by the way, chat. For now, I'm okay with this. I don't want you to stay here too long, though. And a little bit more scanning. Okay, you're scanned, but I want to see a little bit more scanned in there. Whenever I talk about scanning, chat, I want to show people. You ever been in that game where you have somebody who is popping off on BAP, but like isn't healing? And like it's frustrating because you know they're doing well with their DPS, but if they take like 1 second just to throw a heal or two at you, it goes a lot better. So what I want you to get in the habit of is just occasionally scan. So a scanning would be like, okay, your DPS, nothing's happening. Let's look to the right. Everything looks good. Okay, I can stay this angle. I can push out. Okay, you know, you do your shots. They move away. Look again. It just gets constantly kind of scanned to make sure that you don't even have to fully heal your Sigma. Like sometimes when I'm playing tank, you keep me at 70% HP and at least, 30% throw an occasional heal at me, I'm going to trust that you are, that while I'm not getting as healed as much as I would like, I trust that you're probably putting a lot of pressure on them, and I just need to, like, play smart here. But if you don't throw heals at me, I'm like, what's going on? Like, do I need to position better? And sometimes it's just you're not looking at me. It becomes a lot easier on your tank player, or even, like, any of your other support, your DPS, of, like, you know, that they know you at least have their back at times to be able to get the heals. Now, this is ambitious, and I want to point out...
Overwatch just got 50% less handsome.
Yep.
Hey. Complete recovery.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know how to explain why this wasn't a good play, but it worked. So how do I explain that sometimes you're just going to make plays like this that work? That was okay. In my opinion, that was a low percentage play that won't work all the time. And then if you do that a lot, you're probably going to fall over much quicker. Even if you get a kill there in their spawn, you're going to trade out and you're going to spawn so far away from your team all the way back here that by the time you get back here, your teammates are going to basically lose the team fight because their spawn's right here. So I'm like, it's a weird spot where I don't mind the aggression, but I think you need to stop like when you went here, remember when you were here and you were shooting at the Ana? I think this is the limit, like the maximum limit, and then you want to start to do your slow rotation over. I just feel like you got away with a play that if you did that consistently, it wouldn't work all the time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does, but I think that was a little bit too ambitious. But hey. Here we go. Okay. So far, fine. Healing. Go for some damage. Totally fine here. They used lamp. You know you have a lamp advantage now if you need it. Trying to keep your Reaper alive. You can still, yep, this is fine. Still peeking. Good job. Nice play. First tails out. Make sure to use your lamp. Now, keep in mind, you're going to need to get to a spot where your teammates can see you. So you don't overextend, okay? You backed away. You're still up here. Got the kill. Looks like your keyboard broke. Probably got to get that fixed as soon as you can. All right. Now you're typing. Yep. This is helpful to your team when you go to type to them, be like, hey, I got you, Genji. Haha. I would minimize on the typing after. That's how you fall over. This is on PC. All right, Reaper went too deep. Don't be afraid to window this when they start to be aggressive. I would look for Sigma Eat in these situations. Okay, so if you didn't notice, the Sigma used Eat. Don't be afraid to use window. If you think you can hold this, this is your timing. Nomi, thanks for the 26 months of killing. Thank you. Good morning to you too. Remember, you're looking for Stigma Eat to be able to, yeah. I think that you played this too safe. I think that it's interesting because the plays that you've made have been very risky, but when you have an opportunity to slow them down, I think you kind of lost that opportunity. Like, you had a Sigma use Eat right in front of your Sigma when they hadn't pushed in yet. So if you window the statue area, also this flank is interesting. If you window the statue area here, they're going to have to back up, which windows what? I like 8 seconds or something like that. I don't know the exact time in 6 seconds, something like that. Your teammates will have time to get back, and then now their engagement point will be around here rather than trying to run back to the team like right there. So I think you would have been in a better spot if you had recognized that the Sigma used Eat and then just pop your window. Because you can't really push at that point because the Sigma will just fall over. At least I would think. I don't know where this play is going to go. I know you're going to probably window, but we'll see. My problem I have here is that you just need to send it. Yes. How do you feel about Farrah coming to Stadium? Should be interesting. This is hurting your team more than helping, by the way. Because you're going to get away with this too, and I think you are. Yep. Okay. Let's talk about this very quickly because I need to go from the Genji's point of view here. Listen, if you're on Genji in this type of situation, the last thing you want to do, last thing you want to go do is isolate yourself in a 1v1, which is exactly what you did. So the point I'm trying to make here is don't just if you're the Genji in that situation and the BAP is this far away, you have a 5v4 up here. Why are you going all the way back here to a BAP who has put themselves in a bad position? Like, again, this goes back to, yes, this is working right now, but I'm telling you right now, if should you want to keep climbing and get to where you want to get to in Diamond, etc., a lot of, as you climb, like, people are going to recognize, hey, it's a 5v4. I'm just going up here, right? And then what's the BAP going to do? The BAP's going to have to make a journey all the way across the map. By the time the BAP can even be in the team fight, your team just cleans that up. That could still happen. Thankfully, if you look, the Sigma and the rest of the team manage to pop off and you get away with it. Okay, this is interesting. I felt like your team already won this, but hey, if it works, it works. So you're getting away with plays that I think that if you do this consistently won't go well for you. Like, it's the second time I've seen you get away with a play. And don't get me wrong, I've seen people flank, but a lot of the time there's like reasons to what you're gonna do, what the play is. Like, oh my, okay, engage in right now, go. I'll flank at the same time. No, let me 1v5 in the back line and then. But I mean, it's also working, so there's a little bit of like, you know. Little lamp. Should be fine though. First kill your team. Well played. Played that perfectly. It seems like you know how to play in certain ways. I think sometimes you gotta clean up the position and you gotta. I'm okay with risky plays, but I think you gotta look at the risk reward of those plays. And if a lot of it's more risk than reward on that one, I think you gotta look at that. But I mean, you're getting away with it, so. All right, here we go. See what you're doing. Good heals. Lamp's good. You're backing up for a good position, and you missed the heal, but you get the first bonus from this, I think, so you're probably gonna... So far, so good. I mean, I know that you're in a weird spot here. The cast is on you, but, like, that at that point isn't your... That's not gonna be your problem. That's one of those situations of, like, you did what you needed to do to survive. So you have some good moments, I will admit. Like, there's some good moments you've had. It feels like you get a little bit too risky sometimes. But... Good kitty. Isn't he a good boy? Yeah, so. Alright, here we go. I would back up now. I think you're too close to the stairs, and in this type of situation, you need to play further back. Thankfully, you do have a Zenyatta ultimate, which is going to keep you alive. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess the Genji could keep applying the DPS passive to you there, but not bad. The window here is fine, but it's a little bit too close. I would have liked the window a little bit. So when I say fine, I mean more of the like the timing. I think you would have wanted to rotate this way. And in hindsight, no, I don't think that was fine because you were down more than I thought. So I would have saved that. I think you want this window for retake instead. Anyway, looks like you switched to Brig now, probably because of the Genji that you've been apparently having battles with all game, even though I feel like you've won most of the matchups. So, not bad. We'll see. Not bad. You have a numbers advantage, so even though like my suggestion I always say for Brig is remember you're not a tank. When you have a numbers advantage like that, I think that's totally fine. It's when you're in the 5v5 where a lot of like Brig players will be like, oh, I'm gonna play main tank here and just fall over immediately because of it. You have a numbers advantage, your teammates were snowballing them, totally fine. Waiting. A little bit too, yep. We'll see. You're not a tank, okay? So if you're gonna set up here and be aggressive as the Brig, you need to time this correctly, or you need somebody with you. It's funny that we just talked about that. You literally just play that like a tank, and it's not gonna go well. Now, if, let's say your Soldier 76 is with you there, and you're working together, like, kind of hand-in-hand, that's different, right? You can take an off angle. I saw them run into the wall, don't get me wrong. But it goes back to just point out that was not the best spot to go for you. Steve-O, thanks for the 17 months of the prize, so thanks, appreciate it. Wait. Yep. You have time and just wait. Yeah, you're gonna fall over. So there you go. Your aggression finally kind of got you there. Where I'm not saying that if you stayed with your team, you would have specifically won that team fight perfectly. I'm not saying that, but I do think that you made that a little bit more difficult than everybody else, and that was a bit of the problem. So, you know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. You're gonna boop somebody off because that's what it looks like you're set up for. It's also an easy way to fall over if it doesn't work. I love how you didn't get credit for that kill, by the way. Hey, it worked. Nice boop. Be careful of doing it multiple times in a row, because eventually they're going to isolate you in this room. If they even get past the choke, you're falling over. You're getting away with stuff that, like, I think that the story of this game is you want to get to diamond, you said, or you want to keep climbing, but you're getting away with a lot of plays that won't work all the time. And even if they were 50-50, I'd rather you 70-30 it than 50-50 it all the time. I think you're just getting away with a lot of plays that normally you won't get away with. Poet, thanks for the prime sub, thank you, and that might add to some of the inconsistencies of your game. So thank you, appreciate it. There's many times where you should have fallen over. Again, it works. I'm not saying I don't play aggressive sometimes and make plays like that. I just see you do it maybe a little bit too often, right? Where as you climb, more players are going to pick up on that tendency, and you might fall over, you know, more frequently. So just want to get you in the mindset of being wary of that, all right? Yeah, the story of this game is you got to just fix your position in for more consistency. I like the idea of being aggressive at times, but you need to know, like, I think it needs to be timed aggression and the right timing. So learn to, like, pull back on this, or learn, like set spots where, like, this is the limit of where you're going to push past. This was fine, by the way, chat. And this is what, okay, I want to point this example out to you because this is a little bit different. They're not an immediate ability to get a kill here. Now, this is still a risky play, right? If they all turn for you, you can fall over, but they're not going to. Look what the card is. So this is a good timing. What I like about this, though, is not like, you know, it's no, you didn't get a kill, but you pulled pressure away from the tank. And when you do this and they look here, the supports had to be distracted by you. They looked away for even a tenth of a second. Now they're down a torb, right? But what was the impressive part of this play was you fell back, okay? And most of this game, you've just gone in, and then you get away with a play, and you overextend your stay there. You're just like, you know what I mean? Like, you overextend, you get way too aggressive, and then you just fall over, right? You know what I'm saying? The point I want to make here is learn to fall back like this more consistently, because I think the results will go in your favor even more. Just don't keep going and overextend is all I'm getting. You did that a lot, and you fell over a lot because of it. Now you went there, you got a really early elim, like your teammates did. Now you have map control, and you win the game. So, like, you made a good aggressive play there, and it resulted in you helping with the elim. But I really do think that you need to just work on your timed aggression. So be aggressive, but time it correctly, and always have an escape out of that area. Because if you stay there for too long, eventually you're going to fall over, and you just lose the game. So you had good play. But I think that's what's going to keep you kind of stuck at times, if you just keep doing that and only do that. Some good moments, some bad moments. Also, when you're on Ana, that had nothing to do with, like, the Hanzo dominating you. Your positioning was rough, and you were just standing still. So you got to clean up that movement. But overall, not a bad game. But definitely learn from too much of the aggression. Again, time it correctly, and you'll be in good spots. You got this. Like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to all the YouTubes you haven't, leave a comment, all that helps. My Discord's where you submit stuff. And if you want to watch more of these, click the next video. It's going to be a good one. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day /night.